Welcome to my channel. If you're a renegade, I know that you're probably already aware that Ren released a new song today called Troubles. And that song has behind it 7 different chapters, which I talked about yesterday, and I'll link that in the description, that describe his journey from when he was a young lad and he was healthy to the battle that he fought with his disease and all of the misdiagnoses and the terrible prescriptions for things that he didn't need, and how it affected him both physically and mentally, and it was heartbreaking. It was horrible what he went through. And I don't really know at this point in time if Ren is completely healed. He's obviously much better. I don't know if he's healed or not. But he talks about in his Troubles series, his chapters, about how a doctor in Los Angeles contacted him and said that he would give him a stem cell treatment that cost $25,000 for free, as long as Ren would make it public what took place. And so I think Ren has done that with his 7 chapters of Troubles, describing everything in horrible detail about what he went through. And so now he's released the song Troubles, and I've already listened to it. You probably have too, but I'm going to react to it anyway. But it's kind of a summation of what he talks about in great detail in those 7 chapters. So if you haven't read the 7 chapters, I strongly urge you to do that. I highly recommend it. Before we get into this, though, I do want to thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for requesting songs. Thank you for being the most wonderful bunch of people in the world. I really do appreciate you. And as I do with every artist that I feature on my channel, I'll go to Ren's YouTube channel. I'll get all his links. I'll put them in the description of my video. So all you have to do is click on the More link on my description and you'll see all those links. What I ask you to do is to support the artists that I feature by subscribing to their YouTube channel, by following them on social media, and by buying their music if you like their music. So this is Ren's new song, Troubles.
Ooh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, trouble so hard.
I don't reach into the past very much for these shards of shattered glass and harsh paper cuts. Leave me stop when I reach in, memories are seeped in. Hydrochloric acid, I go to war and get passive and freeze up. Music help the ice to thaw. Put the chisel in the middle, swing the hammer of Thor. Pull it out of the impossible, Excalibur sword. Etching notepads full of reasons why my feelings are sore. The first day that I got sick, ejected from the cockpit of living. 19, young teen, waking up bitten. Posters up, manhunt, Ren went missing. Hard to have faith when the gods don't listen. The first hit maybe was the hardest. Waking in the body that was buried like a carcass. Brain in the lion's den, body in the shark pit. Waking up in pain again, aching, broken hearted. Persistent little blogger, I was bouncing from a doctor to a doctor to a doctor, like a table tennis game that has no end. So be the fate of Ren. Every single question answered with a question on the end. The second year I came to terms with giving up my dreams. Mine was severed from the means that helped me write these rhyme schemes. Brain was inflamed, the fatigue was crushing. Hard to remain sane with your brain combusting. arson. And the third year was murder, living in a purgatory full of worry, wouldn't live to be 30. Lifestyle hurt me, always in my bed tomb. Rearranged the alphabet and all the letters spelled doom. Light hurt my eyes, popping pills to survive. When you're 23 and mentally you steadily decline. 24 I was poor, disability benefits. What's the benefit of disability? It's irrelevant. 25 and the scars that were etched, they crack. Elastic bands only stretch so far and then snap. Deep in psychosis, hallucinations, troubled vision. Visits from the underworld were conjuring my superstition. 25 living back at home with my mum, but not because I'm a bum, alone and physically done. So thin, so frail, so weak I'd become. And my skin so pale, never kissed by the sun. One time I carved a hole in my chest just to feel. I wish that was a metaphor, the struggle was real. When you're living in the Holocaust you buckle and kneel. There's relief in the teeth of the kiss of cold steel. Facts, 26 I'm highly medicated and the pain sophisticated while I'm lying broken naked on my back. I brought my microphone until my coffin started dropping raw thoughts with the grim reaper knocking on the track. But then man, lo and behold, I heard an angel beckon on this treacherous road. Was a stem cell doctor with a generous glow. In the cell transplant pulled me out of the cold. And my skin got younger and my body got stronger. And my stomach felt hunger for a door that was closed. And my soul heard music for the first time. Beauty was a word I'd use for this gift of gold. Oh Lord, I forgive you. Lord, I forgive you. Lord, I forgive you. Make me whole. This music I give you, pain that I live through, everything I've been through is yours to hold.
Okay, that's the song. Now, I want to break it down a little bit. Not like the pros do, you know me, I'm no pro. But there were some things in this that I noticed. But before I do that, I do want to talk about what I think, or what I see is the purpose of this song. And I think it's twofold. One, he's fulfilling his promise to the doctor that he would talk about his experience, because that's what the doctor asked of him when he offered him the $25,000 for treatment for free. But I think the second, and I think maybe even more important to Ren, is his desire to help anyone who's in a similar situation to what he was in, where they're suffering so badly that they literally can't get out of bed. And no one will listen to them. The doctors all tell them they're hypochondriacs. No one seems to want to even try to figure out what's wrong. They just assume it's all mental. And then they start giving you drugs for mental health diseases because it's an easy way out. And, you know, the medical profession does that way too much. They do that way too much. They just throw drugs at problems and don't try to solve the problem. This doctor is trying to solve the problem, and I don't know, I really don't know for sure that he has completely solved it for Ren. But he's certainly better than he was. He's certainly more able to get around and do things than he was. And he calls the doctor his angel. So to me, that means that the doctor was successful, whatever the definition of successful is for this disease. But anyway, I want to replay it and stop it at some points because there's some things specifically that I noticed that I thought I wanted to point out. see where he says, "This is my story of hope. I wish I'd had more stories of hope at the time." I think that's Ren's reaching out and saying, if you're hurting, if you're suffering, if you're going through something similar to what I went through, there's hope. There's hope for you just as there was for me.
I don't reach into the past very much for these shards of shattered glass and harsh paper cuts. Leave me stop when I reach in, memories are seeped in. Hydrochloric acid, I go to war and get passive and freeze up. Music helped the ice to thaw, put the chisel.
Music helped ice the thaw. Wow. Music, I think, more than anything else, kept him alive.
In the middle, swing the hammer of Thor, pull it out of the impossible, Excalibur sword, etching notepads full of reasons why my feelings are sore. The first day that I got sick, ejected from the cockpit of living, 19, young teen, waking up bitten, posters up, manhunt, Ren went missing. Hard to have faith when the gods don't listen.
Hard to have faith when the gods don't listen. Well, God is always listening, but if you don't know that, and many people don't, or they don't believe that he is, then you can't get help from him. And, what he's expressing is almost universal, I think.
First hit maybe was the hardest, waking in the body that was buried like a carcass, brain in the lion's den.
The body like a carcass. He was so dead, quote unquote, that he couldn't live.
Body in the sharp pit, waking up in pain again, aching, broken hearted. Persistent little blogger, I was bouncing from a doctor to a doctor to a doctor, like a table tennis game that has no end. So
I get too carried away with this mouse. I want to go back a bit.
and missing, hard to have faith when the gods don't listen. The first hit maybe was the hardest, waking in the body that was buried like a carcass, brain in the lion's den, body in the shark pit, waking up in pain.
Body in the shark pit. Boy, think about that image. Ooh. What would it be like to be in a shark pit? It would be so painful. Man. Excuse me. He just has a way of describing things that gets right to the heart of the matter. It just pierces through all the fog and hits exactly on the point that he's trying to make.
Again, aching, broken hearted. Persistent little blogger, I was bouncing from a doctor to a doctor to a doctor, like a table tennis game that has no end. So be the fate of
Bouncing from doctor to doctor like a game that has no end. That's a perfect description of what he went through.
friend. Every single question answered with a question on the end. The second year I came to terms with giving up my dreams. Mine was severed from the means to help me write these rhyme schemes.
And that's another thing is, excuse me, if you think about it, I've got a frog in my throat. Hold on a minute. If you think about it, if you're in a situation at all like what he was in, it would be very easy to give up on your dream, and yet he didn't. And that speaks to a steel spine, a fortitude of will that just will not surrender.
Brain was inflamed, the fatigue was crushing. Hard to remain sane with your brain combusting. And the third,
a brain was inflamed. It's hard to remain sane when your brain is combusting. Every step of the way in this song, he's describing what it took him an hour and a half or 2 hours to describe in those 7 chapters. And yet you get it when you listen to the song. You know exactly what he's talking about.
year was murder, living in a purgatory full of worry, wouldn't live to be 30. Lifestyle hurt me. always in my bedroom. Rearrange the alphabet and all the letters spell doom. Light hurt my eyes, popping pills to survive. When you're 23 and mentally you steadily decline. 24 I was poor, disability benefits. What's the benefit of disability? It's irrelevant. 25.
I love that line. I got disability benefits. What's the benefit of disability? Exactly. There's no benefit to that.
And the scars that were etched, they crack. Elastic bands only stretch so far and then snap deep in psychosis. Hallucinations, troubled vision. Visits from the underworld were conjuring my superstition. 25, living back at home with my mom.
And again, the way he describes it, like a rubber band snapping, it paints such a picture that you know exactly what he means by that, especially if you've read the 7 chapters. It just got the point where his mind just said, I've had enough. And it left, went to another dimension.
Mentally, you steadily decline. 24, I was poor, disability benefits. What's the benefit of disability? It's irrelevant. 25, and the scars that were etched, they crack. Elastic bands only stretch so far and then snap deep in psychosis. Hallucinations, troubled vision. Visits from the underworld were conjuring my superstition. 25, living back at home with my mom, but not because I'm a bum, alone and physically done.
25 and back at home with my mom, but not because I'm a bum. No, he was barely alive. He was in such bad shape that his mother was afraid he was going to either die or commit suicide.
So thin, so frail, so weak I'd become, and my skin so pale, never kissed by the sun. One time I caught
That, I love that.
back at home with my mom, but not because I'm a bum, alone and physically done. So thin, so frail, so weak.
So thin, so frail, so weak.
I'd become, and my skin so pale, never kissed by the sun.
Skin so pale, never kissed by the sun. The imagery that he evokes in his raps is robust. It is fulsome. It's it's alive.
One time I carved a hole in my chest just to feel. I wish that was a metaphor.
Carved a hole in my chest just to feel. Think about how far you have to have gone to get to that point.
The struggle was real. When you're living in the Holocaust, you buckle and kneel. There's relief in the teeth of the kiss of cold steel. Fat.
Oh, that one gets me. Let's run that by again.
Hole in my chest just to feel. I wish that was a metaphor. The struggle was real. When you're living in the Holocaust, you buckle and kneel. There's relief.
When you're living in the Holocaust, you buckle and kneel.
In the teeth of the kiss of cold steel. Fat.
Kiss
26.
of cold steel. Suicide. That's what he's talking about.
Highly medicated and the pain sophisticated while I'm lying broken naked on my back. Have all my microphone until my coffin started dropping raw thoughts with the grim reaper knocking on the track. But then man, lo and behold, I heard an angel beckon on this treacherous road.
And that angel is the doctor.
The stem cell doctor with the generous glow. In the cell transplant pulled me out of the cold. And my skin got younger and my body got stronger. And my stomach felt hunger for a door that was closed. And my soul heard music for the first time. Beauty was a word I'd use for this gift of gold. Oh Lord, I forgive you. Lord, I forgive you. Lord, I forgive you. Make me whole. This music.
And this is something I noticed in when I was reading his chapters that just, I'm not being critical around, but it really gets me that he, every step of the way when he encountered a difficulty, he felt guilty about it. And here he's saying, Lord, forgive me, because he was blaming God. But he blamed himself more than anyone else for something that he had zero control over. And if there was one message I could give to you, it's don't ever blame yourself for the things that come upon you in life that you have no control over, that you can't do anything about them. Sometimes we just get confronted with stuff, and you have to face it, and you have to push through it, and you have to get out the other side. But it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. If you're going to blame somebody, blame the devil.
I give you pain that I live through. Everything I've been through is yours to hold.
And that, everything I've been through, is yours to hold. That's when he made that line, when he sang that line, that's when I thought, he's not just doing this for the doctor. He's doing it for every single person in the world who is going through a similar experience right now. He's saying, my story, what I went through and how I came out the other side, is yours to hold on to, because it will give you hope. And then when he puts these subtitles in there, he tells you exactly why he's doing this song. He wants people to know these conditions are real. They're not hypochondriacs. They're sick. There's something wrong with their body, and the doctors need to figure it out. Right, exactly. Victims are left to suffer for years without any solid explanation and receive very little help. To escape a body constantly at war with itself. I promise. Let me go back just a hair. I promise yours can be too. He's reaching out. See where I'm at? He's saying, see where I'm at? You can be here too. Hold on. There'll be a day when those conditions are more easily managed. I look on this song as Ren's gift to the world, and particularly to those, okay, stop please, particularly to those who are suffering, to those who are at the point where they feel like they've had enough and it's time to quit. He's saying to them, hold on, there's hope. You can be healed too. And he's right. Lots of different ways you can get healing. You can get it through a miracle. You can get it through a miraculous doctor like the one that reached out to Ren. You just have to keep keeping on until you get to the point that the help comes. And never stop praying. I always pray for you. I pray that you'll have an abundant life, that you'll live a long time, that you'll be healthy, and that God will keep you safe from harm. I pray that He will do that same thing for every single person that you love. But I pray most of all that you, my viewers, will be anxious for nothing, but in all things, through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, you will let your requests be made known to God, and the peace that passes all understanding will keep your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.